Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Tanya from Royal City Nursery, and today we are going to answer one of the biggest questions we've had in the garden center over the last couple of weeks. What the heck do we do with all those caterpillars and those gypsy moth type things that are infesting our trees? They're infesting our spruces, our pines, our maple trees. There's a whole bunch of little itty bitty gray caterpillars out there right now that are munching their way through our leaves, and that right now, so we are the beginning of June, tail end of May. This is a gypsy moth. Now this is not, excuse me, it's not a moth, but it is the caterpillar. It's the larval form or the juvenile form of the gypsy moth. Why do we need to treat this? Well, every few years they get really, really bad. And as you may or may not have noticed, the juveniles, the caterpillars, eat an incredible amount of stuff. Kind of like a teenager, right? So imagine you've got a family of teenagers just raiding your fridge for 24 hours a day. That's what the gypsy moth caterpillars are doing right now. How do we control them? There's actually a few different things you can do, and there's also a preventative that you can do for next year's gypsy moth caterpillars too. So if we talk about this year, we're going to talk about how you control the gypsy moth you've got right now. And again, right now, at the beginning of June, you've got a caterpillar. So a couple of different things. And we'll get this up close. So one of the easiest things is to use something called a tree band. So whether it's something like this that comes all in one, or something like this combination here. So we get a little bit of tree wrap, and this is totally weather resistant. So you're going to wrap this around the trunk of the tree, and particularly if you've got big trees, that's sort of the easy way. Wrap it around the trunk of the tree, tie it on with, say, some duct tape or something else that's super, super sticky. Once you've got that done, Tanglefoot, there we go, Tanglefoot paste is a really sticky molasses-like substance. So smear this on with a popsicle stick or any other kind of wooden stick. When you're doing this combination together, you're actually creating basically a really super sticky version of flypaper. Again, where do you use this? This one, these guys, the tree bands, get used on the trunk of your trees. So as the caterpillars travel up and down the tree, they're going to hit this band, and you're going to do it about 1 foot to 1.5 feet wide. They're going to hit the band, and their little legs are going to get stuck in it. So at that point, we can either just leave them there and give it a couple of weeks, take it off and replace, or you can actually go out and pick them. Totally up to you. So this is a good way to deal with large trees. For some of the smaller trees, or if you've got a lot of the caterpillars sitting in the canopy, then we may actually want to treat them. And there's a few different products. Now, one of the products that you've heard all about in the last month is something called BTK, Bacillus thuringiensis. It's a bacteria that specifically attacks caterpillars. Now, unfortunately, most of the province of Ontario is sold out of BTK, but don't worry, we've got options. So let's take a look at a couple of these. Totally organic, this one is called Safer's End All, and this is one, as you can see, it comes in a ready-to-use bottle, just like it would like a Windex bottle. So it's great for smaller trees, and you need to spritz the whole tree. If you've got a bigger tree, then you want to use something like this. Get the English side out. And this is a horticultural oil. Horticultural oils are great for soft-bodied insects, dealing with soft-bodied insects, because they coat the insect. And insects don't have lungs like we do, so they breathe through their skin. So if we can coat their skin, then we're starting to deal with the insect. When you're putting on a concentrate, easiest thing to use is a dial spray, just like this. So if you look at it, it's got a dial on the top. That's perfect, because then we can set it to the right rate. This stuff goes in here, full strength, no mixing required. Set the dial on top to the number of milliliters per liter that is required. And that's all going to be in your package directions, so make sure you read them. And then you're going to attach to the hose and go. So for every 1 liter of water that gets pulled up by the hose, the number of mils that are set here are going to get pulled up and added. So again, no mixing. This is the easy way to treat a large tree because you can get a fair bit of distance out of here. So these series of products, again, the Tanglefoot and the Tree Wrap, as well as the organic insecticides, this is dealing with the caterpillars you currently have. One of the things we want to look at doing is doing a bit of prevention. Awesome, right? We're used to doing that. That ounce of prevention thing, really, really good idea. So one of the things I'm going to encourage is this particular gypsy moth trap. We'll get a little bit up close again. So the neat thing with this is there's actually 5 in here. So what the heck are these things? When you put them together, after a little bit of origami, they look just like this. So when you actually look at it, there is a couple of slots in here. This is where the adult moth flies in. Now these guys need to go up at the beginning of July, early June. So when we're talking about the traps and the lures, we're not using them at the beginning of June, we're using it at the end of June. And why this works, there's a pheromone that's in here, and that's this little thing. So you'll find it in the package. It goes on to a sticky strip. Again, you find this in the package. So you put the sticky strip in there, you put the pheromone on the sticky strip, and that goes in the box. It's a pheromone that is specific. It is actually the pheromone for the female gypsy moth, which is awesome because the male gypsy moths are so in tune with that particular pheromone, they will hunt these things out. And if you can get the collect the males, that means we don't have any fertilized eggs because the females don't have any buddies. So at that point, we're actually preventing eggs from hatching, and we're even preventing eggs from going on next year. So when we're talking about prevention, again, the trap's a really, really good idea. One package of traps contains 5 traps and treats about 2,000 to 3,000 square feet. You hang them up, put 1 on each corner, so that's 4, and put 1 somewhere in the middle. And again, the pheromone is specifically designed to attract the male gypsy moth, the adult, and that starts in July. We keep these up July, August, and September. Every once in a while, you're going to have to go check and empty the trap, throw it into a bucket of water, drown the little guys, but again, we're preventing gypsy moths from next year. So hopefully that helps a bit, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.